In April 2021, a woman named Shea Bryant and her husband were spending a quiet day inside their home in North Carolina when their 13-year-old son stepped outside to walk the family dog. What should have been an ordinary moment was instantly transformed into a nightmare. As the boy exited the front door, the family's doorbell camera recorded a silver BMW pulling up in front of their house. Without hesitation, a man exited the vehicle and approached the boy, asking, "Do you live in this neighborhood?" The question was strange, but what was more alarming was the speed at which the man had jumped out of his car, suggesting he had been watching the neighborhood, or possibly even the Bryant family, waiting for someone vulnerable to appear. Despite being educated about stranger danger, the boy froze in fear, but just in time, his father noticed the situation and confronted the man. "What you got to ask my son?" he demanded. Caught off guard, the stranger mumbled something about asking about an airplane noise.
What you got to ask my son?
I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he ain't got no adult out here. That's kind of creepy.
The excuse made no sense, and the father clearly didn't believe a word of it. After a tense moment, the man retreated to his car and drove off. He was never seen again. The experience left the Bryant family shaken, especially since they never received answers about the man's intentions. Another disturbing encounter was captured on July 15, 2022, when a TikTok user shared spine-chilling footage of her home's back door. She wasn't home at the time, but her security system recorded a voice repeating the words, "Let me in," while scratching and knocking at the door. The voice was strange, eerily soft, yet demanding. More unsettling was the fact that no figure ever appeared in the frame. However, viewers with a keen eye spotted a faint human shadow in the lower right corner of the screen. Some speculated that the clip may have been staged, while others were convinced that someone with bad intentions was trying to get inside. The TikToker never provided updates, and to this day, the identity of the person behind the voice remains a mystery. Back in August 2019, a security camera inside a home in Troy, Michigan, captured a man sneaking upstairs and wandering through the hallway. His unfamiliarity with the layout was evident. He wasn't supposed to be there. Moments after the camera stopped recording, the man reportedly entered the homeowner's bedroom where a woman was asleep. She woke up screaming, startled by the sight of a stranger standing over her bed. The man fled before she could call the police. Authorities had no leads until 2 months later. In October 2019, the same man was spotted again, this time in Rochester Hills, Michigan. The footage showed him climbing onto a hot tub and peering into someone's window before vanishing into the night. Then, in January 2020, he appeared again, lurking near a home in Bloomfield Township. He peeked through a kitchen window and then hid behind a tree, triggering the homeowner's security alarm. Finally, in February 2020, police spotted the suspect running from another residential yard. This time, he was arrested. Identified as 27-year-old Donovan Johnson, he shockingly turned out to be a bankruptcy attorney. He was issued a restraining order and a GPS tether while awaiting trial. The case hasn't had many public updates, but given the severity of his actions, it's possible he is still serving time. In September 2018, YouTuber Jeff Null uploaded a video titled, "Man Trying to Enter My Home in the Middle of the Night." The footage shows a disoriented man stumbling toward Jeff's front door. At first, he merely lingers, but then he starts pulling at the doorknob and talking to himself. "What do I do? What am I seeing?" he mumbles. His speech was hard to decipher, and it's unclear whether he was under the influence or mentally unstable.
Okay, I was just looking for a dog fighter. Whoa. You don't have to get all like that and stuff, honey. You know, we could be friends.
Before he could escalate the situation, Jeff called out from an upstairs window, threatening to call the police. The man quickly tried to excuse himself, saying he was just looking for his dog, Foe. He then suggested that he and Jeff could be friends before disappearing into the night. No further information was ever discovered about who he was or what he intended to do if he had gotten inside. Perhaps one of the most shocking cases of doorbell camera footage was captured in April 2023 in Connecticut. Around 9:30 a.m., a man wearing an orange vest walked up to a house pretending to be a delivery worker. In his hands, he carried a package and wore a fake smile as he knocked on the door. The ruse was convincing until the homeowner opened the door and the man pulled out a gun. He tried to force his way into the house, attempting to back the homeowner inside.
This is for you.
But the man of the house pushed him back and slammed the door shut. The suspect fled the scene, but was quickly identified by authorities as 37-year-old Xavier Otero. Police arrested him at a relative's house in Hartford. Otero was charged with home invasion, criminal possession of a firearm, threatening, and attempted unlawful restraint. During the investigation, police uncovered a chilling plan. Otero was allegedly part of a coordinated home invasion scheme in which victims were to be tied up with heavy-duty zip ties and robbed at gunpoint. At the residence where Otero was arrested, police found 1.1 kilograms of drugs, packaging tools, and a bag full of zip ties, evidence of a possible drug operation. Not long after, a second suspect, the getaway driver, was also arrested. Then, a month later, a third suspect was caught and identified as the mastermind behind the entire operation. All three individuals were charged and remain in custody. Another incident occurred late at night when a man walked up to a house's front door, but rather than knocking or ringing the doorbell, he acted strangely. Near the left side of the screen, the headlights of a car were visible, making it clear that the driver was orchestrating this odd interaction. The man appeared reluctant, almost as though he was being forced into doing something sinister. His actions suggested that he didn't want to be there, and instead of a genuine conversation, he pretended to knock and even faked a dialogue with the homeowner.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry.
It became evident that the man was looking for someone named Matt. One theory that circulated among viewers was that the man was being coerced into a robbery or some other criminal activity, but the true intentions behind the driver's orders remain a mystery to this day. Another disturbing clip featured a random woman walking up to a house's front door. At first, her behavior seemed normal, but as soon as a car passed by, she abruptly changed her demeanor, almost as if she was trying to avoid drawing attention to herself. Once the car was out of sight, the woman's actions took a sinister turn as she pressed her face up against the camera. The homeowner, upon reviewing the footage, had no idea who the woman was or what her intentions might have been, but her unsettling behavior raised many questions about her purpose for being there. In a more dangerous scenario, a doorbell camera captured the horrifying early stages of a fire spreading on a neighboring property. The footage shows the fire starting small, but it gradually intensified, eventually reaching the house with the doorbell camera. The homeowner, who was asleep at the time, was awakened by motion detection alerts from the camera. Upon reviewing the footage, he immediately grabbed a fire extinguisher and rushed to try to put out the fire. Unfortunately, the flames were too advanced, and he had no choice but to escape through the back door. It was a close call, and the homeowner later credited the motion detection alerts from the doorbell camera as the life-saving factor that allowed him to get out in time. However, one of the most chilling moments captured on a doorbell camera was the footage of a woman frantically knocking on a house's front door. As she desperately banged on the door, she kept looking behind her in panic. This is when the camera revealed the source of her fear: a man approaching her and forcefully grabbing her, demanding that she get into his car. The woman pleaded for him to stop, but her cries went unanswered.
Please, no, please.
The man, later identified as 20-year-old Viktor Kuchich, was ultimately charged with third-degree felony kidnapping. The disturbing nature of the footage, combined with the woman's frantic plea for help, left a lasting impact on viewers, who could only imagine how terrifying the situation must have been for her in that moment. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this.